This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the dawn. Happy Easter Sunday to you, wherever you find yourselves in the world. We have got a grey heron here hunting in the water, and we're coming to you live here from Zuma Private Game Reserve in the Sabi Sand. My name is Steve. I'm joined by BK on camera. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Are you well? I hope you're well on this lovely Sunday morning. We're doing well, and we have been communicated in our ear just a moment ago that we have surpassed the 10,000 signatures required. Woohoo! Thank you, everybody, very much for your support. Thank you, everyone, very much for your support. Now, we're probably going to want to continue, see where we get to, but don't forget, everybody, this is a live and interactive game drive experience. If this is your first time joining us, understand that you can go to the website or the app and you can send us questions and comments that we will answer for you there in real time. You can also just throw any questions or comments you want to on the YouTube chat stream if that is where you're watching, or otherwise you can send through questions and comments on Twitter. Don't forget to use the hashtag WildEarth. I wonder if this heron is looking for Easter eggs, BK. Do you think?
I think it is.
He might be. He might be looking for some Easter eggs. Well, we were quite keen to go follow up on some lions this morning. It sounds like Cedric has found some already, so we will go and see what else we can find then. Picasso and Sumi Maribs and a couple of Ellies. Well, that would be some wonderful Easter egg finds this morning, wouldn't it? Yes, it would be. Yes, it would be. It's just turning my radio down there. Apologies for that. Okay, well, as I said, it sounds like Cedric's found some lions. Let's go say good morning to them.
Thank you, Steve-O, and yes, happy Easter Sunday, everybody, and what a way to start the Sunday morning with the Nkuhuma Pride, still here at Twin Dams with the Telemati male, Kanye, and still a little bit of growling happening, still the continuation of last night's sighting around here at Zuma Private Game Reserve in the world-renowned Sabi Sands. Good morning, everybody. My name is Cedric, and behind the camera with me on Rusty, we've got Gert. Thanks, and what a way to start this morning's drive with some lions, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to be playing out here. So the Nkuma females with the Telemati male, they still, as I said, still here at Twin Dams, and now and again he gets up and the girls are still growling at him and all that. Chillers to the one side, so I've got a feeling that everything is still kind of almost, I can say, playing out from last night's sighting. There's Chilla to the left, all the way to the one side, and you can see she's just making sure she's pretty much almost like separate from the rest of them. And this female, as you can see now, Chilla, she's got 3 little cubs. That's just here towards the drainage line, and just by looking at the demeanor of this lot at the moment, I think her cubs are still pretty much safe, but we will take a look a little bit later on, or we'll just see if her tracks go in there later on. That will give us the idea. But The next thing here is that there is a herd of Cape buffalo. It's just to the west of us, and it seems like that Cape buffalo is slowly but surely starting to make their way down towards Twin Dams. So there might be a lot of things that's going to be playing out here this morning. So we will take a look. I just want to quickly find out. Sorry, what did you see Lalapan say?
Where Savel driving from there? Sounds like Nyaris must be Lalapan, which is a bit west.
Yeah, no, I did date with those in Nyari. Thanks, thanks, Dabia. He's just giving me updates about the buffaloes, and they've been back and forth, and of course these lions have been just resting at Twin Dams, and so yeah, interesting. I think it's going to be interesting to see how this morning plays out. What a way to start our Sunday mornings as a safari with the Nkuhuma Pride and the Talamati Young Male. And as we got here, you got up and all that, but one or two of these females did exactly what they were doing last night, growling, and they weren't too happy with him coming too close to them. So also what played out last night after the show, we pretty much remained in that sighting for like just another about 10-15 minutes. And a huge herd of elephants came in, storming in for these lions, because they heard the lions growling and all that, and this male calling. And then this herd of elephants came from the south out of nowhere, and they came storming in, chasing the lions all over the show, and they chased the young male into the females, and of course the females weren't happy with him running into them, and the one female pretty much had a little bit of a confrontation with him, but it wasn't for long. And then the elephants once again just broke up that fight, and they were chasing everybody out, and poor BK and myself were kind of shoved into a bush where we could not move, and we were just hoping that it all kind of, I can say, dissolved behind us, and that we could at least get out of that area. But yeah, that's exactly what played out. And I said to myself, I told BK, I said, yep, I am putting in first gear and second gear, and I am heading straight back to camp to go have a nice brewski for the evening. Monica, yes, but look, it's not like a heavy standoff at the moment. As you can see, some are lying down, but you can see that female that's lying on her tummy and pointing, like kind of almost lining her body up. There's actually two females that's doing that, but lining their bodies up to him. So every time he gets up and he starts moving, those females start growling, and they're not happy with his, I can say, his presence. But how amazing, and it's always, Chilla's always to the one side. It's amazing, eh? Yeah, she's always to the one side. She's always just kind of keeping an eye on the rest, and the rest came to her. I'm gonna say her saving grace last night. With she was calling them, and they all came up this side and all stood together. It was an amazing sighting. What a female she is. She's really proven to be, the most experienced female, the oldest of the females here, and just overlooking the pride. Much light in colour. That's one thing about her. She's got a very light coat as well. There should be 10, Puma. There should be 10. Should be 9 females and a young male, but I haven't seen the young male. Apparently he did join yesterday with the rest of the pride. I don't know, maybe he's with the other, because there's only 7 here. So maybe he's with the other 2 females that's not here at the moment, because I don't see tattered-eared female, or I don't see the tattered-eared female. I might be wrong. I might be completely wrong. I'll just have to kind of scan a bit at each female here and see who's who here. But that young male was definitely not with them here.
Out in the wild, life moves fast. To capture the action, you've got to be in the right spot at the wrong time. Now, incredible animal behavior, selected from amazing amateur and professional footage, to reveal the secret lives of animals in motion. This is raw nature, caught in the act.
Sorry, Ron, I just live, guy.
Good morning, Cedric. Have you perhaps got an update there on Gemma?
I'm live at the moment. It's just Slamming Guy at Twin Dams. Twin Dams? I'm letting the other guy know that there's some lions here. Sometimes we think the other vehicles are also going to give the updates, but it seems like their radios are all off. It'd be nice to see the young male and the young sister of his, but we'll see. They might be around. You never know. Difficult to say where they are. All speculation. Could be south, could be north, east, west of us. No idea where those two lions are.
Sighting of the decade, guys. The sighting of a decade. Pangolin. I've got goosebumps all over my body. Bang! Panda actually spotted. Okay, let's go a bit closer. We don't want to disturb it, but this guy's super chilled. I am shivering. Got to be kidding me. We just make sure we stay below the wind. This is bizarre. I think what might have happened is after the burn, he's looking for ant colonies that are trying to relocate Remember, they're eating ants.
Well, welcome back live, everybody. Chris could not contain his excitement there, as I'm sure I probably wouldn't either. Sighting of the century. Nice work, Chris. Definitely tops the bottom of a kudu, but at least the kudu's bottom with its stripes kind of looks like an Easter egg hidden there in the long grass. I told the story a little while ago of my dad when I was younger hiding Easter eggs all over our garden, but our dog went and found them all. And you know how the Easter eggs are always in the little foil wrappers, and the dog ate all of them and got very sick. It was the last time we did Easter egg hunts in that garden with the dogs. I don't know if it was the chocolate that made the dog all sick or if it was the foil that had ingested with the chocolate, but it definitely wasn't a nice experience, and all of us two little young boys missed out on Easter eggs. Oh no, it's shocking, hey? So I wonder if these kudu, what are they looking for this morning? The vegetation is nice and moist. Happy Easter, Norm. Good morning to you, sir. I hope everything's going well over the United States and you're having a wonderful, I think it's still Saturday over there, isn't it? It must be. It is Sunday morning here. It is, what's the time? I had the time a moment ago. It must be about 6:30 now, but 6:20. I don't even know, BK. Anyway, it's early in the morning, and I've got a kudu that's going to come this side as well, BK. She might come this side. Shh, we're very quiet. Very quiet this morning, everybody. We're going to do kudu ears. We're going to just observe general game this morning and see what wonderful animals we can find. Another kudu over there. See if you can spot her. Oh, there we go. That was quite easy. BK, you're supposed to make it difficult. And she suddenly realizes that the rest of the herd has crossed the road, and the boy's going to follow her too. He's coming shortly. Oh, he's a beautiful specimen. He's a beautiful specimen. Here he comes. Ah, look at those horns. And this would be his little breeding group. And you can just see, walking through these thickets, I invite you to attempt it, everybody. I was wearing a hat over the solstice, or the equinox, with a feather in it. And just this feather sticking off the top of your hat gets in the way. And it's cumbersome. And, you brush up against things, and things stop you from moving. And that was just a feather. Now, can you imagine having these solid, well-structured horns emanating off the top of your head, trying to move through the grass or through the vegetation, the dense vegetation? It's very cumbersome. So it's not an advantage, and if he moves forward a little bit, you will see how thick his neck is. He is a beautiful bull. I don't want to start the car because I feel like he might react if I do. He's going to move into frame in a moment. Erica, you say, are the dark spots around his eyes, do they help him see? I'm not sure about dark spots. I know they've got the white line in between the eyes, and that helps to break up their three-dimensional body profile. It's like it's a camouflage. Same with the stripes on the body and the mane of fur on the body as well. Let me go forward an inch, BK. He's going to move. Go forward just a couple of inches. Tell me when you got him. I'll just have a look at the screen. Okay, so he's going to follow the rest of them shortly. Now, I want to see these dark spots under the eyes.
Africa boasts myriad landscapes. From true forest to true desert. And countless stunning ecosystems in between. The savannas of East Africa are home to nature's most stunning spectacle, the Great Migration. These rolling grasslands are nurseries of abundant life. The woodlands of southern Africa, sometimes verdant and sometimes desiccated, offer the most intimate insight into the lives of the continent's beloved wildlife. Wherever you are in Africa, the scenic majesty will take your breath away.
Hello everybody, sorry about that. Some gremlin crawled into the camera there for a moment and unplugged things. We don't know actually what happened, we have no idea, but sometimes there are some challenges associated with broadcasting live from these wild locations. So there's a kudu in there. There's two kudus in there. Now, he doesn't move. He's invisible. Can you go in a little bit more, PK? He's right there. Let's see if you can see. That's the female moving to the right. He's over here. Let's see if, there we go. Here he comes. Now, if he doesn't move, it's not easy to see him. But as soon as they come out into the open, they do stand out quite nicely. We'll see him in a moment. We'll be emerging out of the thicket onto the road verge. And it is just drizzling a little bit. Tracy, their social structure is that of small herds, a small little breeding group of mothers, sisters, daughters, and then a big dominant boy will look after them. And they're a very sensitive species, so the females take years to associate with and accept a male. So if a big dominant male is killed or removed from a kudu grouping, it takes time for them to establish another male again. It's not like impala that the females are just moving around and the males go through a rut. Oh, and he's quite interested there. He gave her a little bit of a sniff and she pushed away. So they are very sensitive. Impala, as I said, the males come and go. We get lots of male impala in the rutting season. The females don't seem to be too concerned with who's in charge, whereas kudu are very sensitive, and he will follow the herd around and protect them and defend them against another male. So their breeding success can be influenced by the removal of the dominant male. It can be delayed by a year or two. Micaiah, you say those horns could be an Easter fascinator. Is that a kind of hat? I don't actually know what a fascinator is. But here he comes again. Fascinating horns. Look at them. Look at those horns. He's clearly got one thing in mind, and it's got nothing to do with Easter. She must be receptive. He's even stretching his head out. Let me go forward here. Stretching his head out to try and get a sniff. It's not subtle at all. Beeks, is it all right?
Yeah, it's all right.
So he's clearly interested in her. She must be an estrus. Let's watch his face. If she's urinated, if he's gone and tested the urine now, we'll see it as he whips his head up. And you see the lips. Or he might just be feeding.
safari. Now remember, this is live and interactive, so we'd love to hear from you.
To be having these incredible experiences in this wild underwater forest.
It was just one of those things which I don't think I'll ever see again in my life.
Thanks for joining us on our Sunrise Safari. Yeah, it is quite an interesting weather-wise this side here this morning. It seems like a little bit of cloud that came in. It seems like we also had a little bit of drizzle during the night time. But yeah, the lines are still very much flat. No changes as of yet. Still got the audio of buffaloes that's busy grunting and all that just to the west into the thickets there in the background. Exactly where that is zooming into, somewhere there, somewhere. And it seems like they might be just lying down there in the area, hoping that those buffaloes eventually start getting up, maybe coming down to the water here for a little drink for the morning. If so, well, then we're going to have some action. We've got the Nkuhuma's specialists at hunting buffaloes lying around here. All sleepy cats for now. I think they might have had a rough night. It seems like there was a very rough night. It was Saturday night fever. And now it's like time out. I know, is that the young male on the right there? It looks like he's got a bit of chest hair. Oh, huh? I didn't double check. I can't see. Yeah, that looks like the young male. It just seems like he's got the little mane coming through on his neck. I think that's a young male. To me, it looks like it, because you know, the young males at that age, around about 2.5, they start getting that little bit of that mane. It starts on the neck area, around the, around the side of its cheek, on the cheek area. So, yeah, man, this looks like the young boy. Sorry, I just actually took notice of that now. Sorry, Jared, go with X-Ranger's comment there, because he's always got some nice witty comments. X-Ranger, yes. Buffaloes will make an epic fun day Sunday, and I fully agree. Well, let's see. We'll see what plays out. So now I'm feeling that is a young male that's pretty much lying there. Just looks like it. He needs to just roll over to see if we can see his golden nuggets, his little Easter eggs. So then at least we know that it is him. And then the female that's closest to us is flicking her ear. Oh, that looks like the tattered-eared female. And just by the look of that right ear, and she's got big shoulders. That's one thing I can say with the Nkuhuma pride, this pride of lions. The females are really in good condition and bulky. Liverpool birdie, the tension does continue, and look, I think at the end of the day, I think that the Talamati male is not coming in here to look to kill those cubs. I think he's completely oblivious of even the cubs being here, for Chela. And I think the females are just very protective over that, and they're just kind of almost like luring him away. Just, come with us to this side, like kind of luring him away from where Chela's got her youngsters. So, that's also, it's also kind of part of their game plan, their way of protecting their youngsters. So, and they all work together. So that's why I think the poor Talamati male he's got no clue on what's really happening, and these girls are all being aggressive with him. So, plus you must also remember he's not from the pride, but he's got the same genes as some of the youngsters, so from the Evoker males. So the Evoker males were the three dominant males that used to be in this area: Dark Mane, Blondie, and then the last surviving one is Mohawk. A lot of engines that's on and off here. On a day like this as well, it's nice and cool. There's no sun. It's very cool today, this morning. So I don't think there's going to be any sun coming through today. So you'll find that they are going to maybe just rest around here for the day, or even move again. Depends on those buffaloes. All depends on those buffaloes. I mean, if those buffaloes do come down here for water, and they'll have to come down. This is the closest water source for those buffaloes, which is just to the west of us. And if they do come down here, then you'll find that there's going to be quite an interesting thing that's going to play out here. Sorry, Jared, I did not hear what you said there. Oh, one female's getting up. Who is that? Looks like the... Debbie, usually when they start eating solid, so about 6 weeks, I usually say 6, 7, 8 weeks, around about that, where you'll find that the cubs will be introduced to the pride. So, and those cubs of Chela is only 3.5, but that sometimes happens where all of a sudden the pride comes to where her cubs are, and she's going to they're going to go and sniff it out, and they're going to pick up on that she's got her cubs here, and they're like, oh, that's nice. And then they're going to just continue their normal thing. They won't kill the cubs because it's part of the pride. But the problem is the male. It's not the male's kind of instinct for a male, well, especially like the Talamati young male. He's like already 5 years old, so instinct that if he gets hold of those cubs, he'll go for them. But of course, without a fight from the female, or with a fight from the females, they'll try their utmost best to try and keep him away and avoid him from going to that area. But anyway, while we're going to sit here and see, it looks like 1 or 2 females here, we're putting their heads up now. While we sit here, let's go and take a look at another Easter clip.
He's building a nest in this tree, the violet-eared. How very special.
I saw him grab some nesting material and jump in there. And there we go, we've officially got him on camera. It's the first time seeing the violet-eared waxbill. They are such pretty birds. That is the male. That is the male, by the way. And small birds like that love to nest in little acacia thickets, little acacia trees with the thorns and the armaments and the protection that it creates, that prevents, for the most part, birds of prey, mongoose and maybe some other terrestrial predators from getting in and getting access to the nest. So the violet-eared waxbill, everybody, is so special to see them. I mean, here in Djuma, I've never seen one. I've seen two in the Kruger, but up north in Bafuri. But in Madikwe, they're like a trash bird. I know that doesn't sound nice when you hear that. But like here, the yellow-throated longclaw is a very uncommon bird in this area. But you go to the Mara and it's just everywhere. So it's all about habitat, all about climate. Ooh, we've got some Franklins having a go over there. Let's see if we get them. Come on, keep the Barney going. Don't stop now just because we're watching. There's still one in the road. There we go. The Natal spur owl. And it's gone. So that was actually with you, BK, wasn't it, when we got those violet-eared waxbills? They at Skokopan. You all remember we spent a lot of time at Skokopan with the mud-wallowing elephants and zebras coming in and giraffe drinking, and same pan that I got a lioness killing a baby warthog. That wasn't with you, BK. That was the following month. Oh, that was in January. That was quite something. Lioness was sitting in the tree. The warthogs came underneath. I mean, the warthogs aren't looking up. Aren't looking up. Who's looking up when you're a warthog? There's so much danger on the ground level, and they're not looking up. We watch them in anticipation. Ooh. We spotted an animal, everybody. Another Easter egg in the thickets. Hello, Nyala. Looks like a little bachelor group of Nyala bulls. There's at least 3 of them that I can see moving through the thickets. And quite funny, we were on the open area there close to camp the other day. And there was a Nyala bull up on the hill, hanging out with some impalas, and male kudu started walking through. Was that with you, Biggs? Yep. And the Nyala started doing his body posture. The fur went up and the body changed, and the male kudu just kept walking past. I think the Nyala was like, oh, he's huge. No way I'm going to be able to fight this guy. That would be quite funny to witness, though, wouldn't it? Oh, we're going to have a little pushing shove there. You don't often see Nyalas push and shove. Let me try reposition. So everybody, don't forget that currently, as it stands from tomorrow, there will be no live drive on Monday and Tuesday. We will be still out and about filming, and we will be bringing you some epic content as the days unfold. That is the way forward currently. And Monday, Tuesday, there will be no live SafariLIVE drives. Okay, well, those Nyala bulls decided that they would rather not engage. They are a dark mane lover, aren't they? They are a remarkable specimen. And the gentleman on the top of the open area close to camp thought so as well, until this huge kudu bull walked past, and he suddenly thought to himself, wow, I definitely need to go to the gym. I'm not big enough to compete with that guy. Thankfully the kudu just walked past without even a glance. They are related. Tragelaphus species. Kudu being the second largest, eland obviously the largest, and then the nyala would be third in line, with bushbuck being the smallest of the group. The spiral-horned antelope, but they don't look very spiral-horned. Kudu are spiral, eland very much so. Bushbuck there's a twist, and the nyala there's a twist, but I suppose you wouldn't say spiraled, but that is the classification. Bradley, I've never heard of them crossbreeding with kudu. I know that they completely outcompete and dominate bushbuck, and I'm not sure if there's a potential for them to hybridize. I think there is in unnatural conditions to hybridize with bushbuck. I don't know if it leads to a fertile hybrid or not, but I've never heard of any stories of kudu and nyala. Nyala and bushbuck occupy pretty much the same habitat, so the nyala consequently didn't actually occur in these parts of the world. They came from the east, from the KwaZulu-Natal, and were introduced to parts of the Kruger, and they have outcompeted and taken over the habitat or niche of the bushbuck. And we do see far fewer bushbuck than we do nyala these days. For the morning, let's see what other treasures we can find. We'll start off with that one in the tree up there, BK, on the bottom branch. Hello. Good morning. It's giving us the cold shoulder. The southern yellow-billed hornbill. Damien, I know that they could. I mean, birds' beaks are pretty sharp and they can be pretty aggressive with them, but I don't know of birds physically fighting to the death. There's always confrontation, there's always sort of things that go on between them, but I think in wild, natural conditions, when one backs down, it's over. There's a lot of body language. There doesn't always have to be a conflict or confrontation. There often can just be the way the bird presents itself or moves through, but those are species specific. So hornbill versus hornbill, they'll have their territorial defense and fights against each other. Spur fowls will fight against each other. They won't be fighting against other species, but of course there's the predation aspect where there's many birds of prey that will prey on birds, and so yes, that is definitely to the death. But I don't know of birds physically interacting with each other in natural conditions to the point where one is killed outright. I don't know of that. If any of you have examples or know of it out here in these natural conditions, then please do let me know. I think if another bird is able to escape and back down, then it's left alone. And just like that, our hornbill has decided to back down so that we'll leave it alone. We shall leave you alone, Mr. Hornbill, while I roll down the hill because I have pushed the clutch in. And up we go. I'm wearing my protective glasses, everyone, just because there's that very light bit of misty rain that hits me right in the eyes and it makes me squint, and I don't want to squint. Okay, well, Cedric's lions are probably squinting, or maybe they're sleeping. I'm not sure. Let's go check them out.
Thank you, Steve-O. Yes, always very important to put that protective eye gear on. You never know what's going to fly into your eyeballs. But yeah, we are here still at Twin Dams, still within Kuhuma Pride. As you can see, all very much relaxed. This is the one that's got a head up. And that one on the head up now, you can just see on the back left rump area, on the hip area. That's exactly where she had that 2 proper bite marks from a couple of days ago when they came from that kill, that buffalo kill that happened in Hofmans, and then the Nzenga males, the 2 big male lions, came in that area and chased them off that kill. And it seems like she was one of them that had a little bit of a confrontation with those males, got caught up with them, and she got a nice little puncture wound, like a nice canine mark. You can see now and again lots of licking it just to clean it, just to make sure she can heal up nice and quickly. So a lot of, in their saliva, there's a lot of healing agents inside of their saliva, so it helps them just to get those wounds cleaned up much quicker, and then in a week's time you won't even see a mark there again.
Thanks, Ed, as well. We found the largest Easter eggs in the African wilderness. Maybe a small Easter egg amongst the group here, but there's a small breeding herd of elephants here. Well, we'll take it. And this little youngster, he's very curious, very relaxed female. And it's very obvious that this herd is relaxed. We saw them just after you left us last. We moved around, they didn't react to the vehicle. We came closer, they didn't react. We moved closer, no reaction. We came even closer and they still haven't shifted or changed any behavior. And what is the most obvious thing right now, everybody, is the baby is there on its own. Now, Mum is obviously cognizant of the fact that we're here, and she puts herself between us and the baby, which is exactly what you'd expect. But it didn't happen immediately. She is moving in that general direction, and the baby's very relaxed feeding, and so is she. But those are very good indicators of whether you can come closer or whether you should just stay a distance away. Watch the big female in the herd. Is she feeding? Are the babies in the open? if the herd starts to change their behavior, rather stay where you are and watch from a distance with binoculars. But if your vehicle noise hasn't alarmed them in any way, go a little bit closer, creep in, and as soon as you see some slight shift in behavior, maybe the animal stands still, maybe the head goes up a little bit, maybe the baby starts moving towards mum, whatever it might be, switch off the vehicle, let them relax again, and then if need be, after 5 minutes, start the car. If there's no reaction, you can go a little bit further forward. By all means, see, she's just walked away from her baby. She's left her baby to us. We could go and grab her baby right now and do with her what we please. Not that we will, of course, but if she was not relaxed or happy with us, this would not be the case. That baby plastered against her hip, we wouldn't really see it. It would be out of sight. But that's not the case. BK, you've learnt a lot about elephants in your time here, haven't you?
Yes, I have. A lot.
I've spent years with these giants, and one of the shortfalls, I think, of sand parks or the Kruger National Park is that they allow in 2 million tourists a year, but there's really no introduction about what do you do with elephants. All good and well, here we go, here's your rental car that you rent from wherever. You drive in, whatever passport you might have. They don't ask you, have you been in the park before? Have you spent time with elephants before? And there's no introduction. There might be a small blurb about don't get out of your car and give animals space. Fair enough. But every now and again, you need to get past a herd, or you need to get through a herd, or a herd suddenly arrives in front of you. What on earth do you do? So I've got a bit of a mission, everybody, to try and educate and try and impart some of my years of elephant experience so that you, as a self-drive tourist in places like the Kruger National Park, can improve and maximize your sightings and enjoy it. So you're not sitting there on the edge of your seat, nervous wreck. Nathan, can the baby cause trouble? I'm going to move forward. Can the baby cause trouble? So now, Nathan, the female is the one you've got to watch out for. If her behavior changes, then you need to be aware of that. If any other member in the herd reacts, it's going to be a reaction, and the mother, just keep watching the big adult. If a youngster starts going and runs at you, get your film camera out, your phone, and film it. Smile and just love it, because essentially the baby's throwing a tantrum and mum hasn't changed behavior. If anything, mum might come here baby, come back to me. But unless you've somehow gotten into that situation and the adult didn't know you were there and the baby reacts, there could be a reaction from an adult. It's why we get reactions on foot from elephants, because you can get into an elephant sighting on foot without them knowing you're there. That's actually a lot of the time the objective. But on a vehicle, they hear you coming, they smell us, they know we're coming long before we get here, and so there's no surprise. The main reason, if see, like this one here is going to react to us now, look at giving us all the body language of, oh, I'm going to charge you shortly. But you must watch mum. Where's mum? The baby is closer to us than to the mother. The mother hasn't put herself in between. She's watching. Don't get me wrong, everybody. That looking over her left shoulder towards us, she's definitely aware of what we're doing. And if I go too close, her behavior will change. Don't push your boundaries with elephants. If you see them coming along a game path and you can drive and sort of intercept and get into an area with space that they would semi-walk past, you do that. But don't block them, don't isolate them, don't get in their way, and don't drive right up to them. Allow them to close the space. That is the key. That is the key. So after this, I'm going to go out. I've got their sense of direction. I'm going to go out and around and come into the open area in front of them there and allow them to come closer to us and close that space.
Out in the wild, life moves fast. To capture the action, you've got to be in the right spot at the wrong time. Now, incredible animal behavior selected from amazing amateur and professional footage to reveal the secret lives of animals in motion. This is raw nature, caught in the act.
Wild Earth, connecting with nature.
So there she heard me say the word lion, and she stopped, and her trunk is moving left and right, her head's moving left and right. Even the baby is stopped, the baby's listening, and now she starts flipping the trunk again. So something came up for her there, some form of smell, some form of something or other, and she thought to herself, let me just figure this out. And if in those moments of decision, if you do something, you're forcing the elephant to make a decision. When they stop and start doing something, the best thing for you to do is just to stop and do absolutely nothing. And if they choose to come closer, just breathe, take it in. Obviously, if you pull up in front of them and they start behaving aggressively and start running towards you, then don't just sit there, drive away. Joey, not very far, maybe 100 meters, generally an inquisitive little boy. Maybe he's got a bit lost or a bit too brave, and suddenly he'll realize that he's away from the herd and he'll come running back to the herd. But they don't deliberately get left behind. They're always within earshot, always within rumble shot, and the herd normally stays pretty close to each other. But if they're relaxed and they're moving through the landscape and there's a few females scattered around, it does happen sometimes that one or two of the calves can be a little bit displaced or a little bit left behind, and you can sometimes see a reaction there. If that youngster suddenly freaks out because it realizes, oh, I'm far away from mum, it will start to react, and that can cause the adult to react in a way where she just comes back immediately to where the calf is and tries to figure out what's going on. As would be any normal typical behavior when a baby starts screaming or shouting, or a young toddler starts screaming or shouting around the corner and mum's like, where are you, where are you? It comes with concern, it comes with sort of ready to deal with whatever situation. In that situation, if that happens, it's best to just be completely switched off and silent and allow the interaction with the adult and the calf to play out. If you suddenly are revving your engine and driving around when that's going on with the calf, there's a potential that the mother might think that you've caused some form of distress. But invariably, by that point, she would have known you there already, so there's a very good chance that everything's going to be okay. But they don't like the sound of cars. They don't like the revving of engines. And a lot of people I've seen in the Kruger will sit in an elephant sighting with their engine on and wonder why the elephants are reacting to them. They've got very sensitive hearing. They've got babies they're trying to protect. There are dangers out there the elephants are trying to listen to. And there's this diesel engine just ticking over. So in any sighting, the best thing to do is just switch off. Let nature play its own tune. But it pays to always start from a distance, get to know the herd, get to see their behavior, stop the car from far away, no reaction, switch the car on, watch them closely, no reaction, idle forward, slowly, slowly, slowly. And when you find another comfortable place where you feel like you can relax and chill, you got good view, switch off the car and breathe deeply. Okay, well, it sounds like Cedric's buffalo have come out of the thickets. Let's go catch up with them.
Thank you, Steve-O. Yes, well, we just came actually a little bit further west where we heard the buffaloes from this morning. And we just came in from where the lions are. Not too far, it was about maybe 100 meters west from where the lions are. And the buffalo, Cape buffaloes are all lying down here. One or two just getting up now, stretching a little bit, but I think majority of them at the moment is still pretty much resting. So what's going to play out for the day, I'm not too sure with the lions and the buffaloes. All depends on which way these buffaloes go from here. If they're going to go back down towards Twin Dams, it could get pretty interesting from that side. There's a couple of calves here. There's some nice old ones, old female. As you can see, that female lying down, that's very thin horns on her compared to males. You can see very, very thin there. And the male's got a big, she even gives us a side eye. That's typical of buffaloes, getting those side eyes and stare downs. And a male's got big bosses on their head compared to a female. It's much thinner. Someone's got a nose problem. And of course, for like a pride like the Nkuhumas, you can imagine a perfect meal will be a buffalo that's going to at least last them for like 2-3 days on that kill. And then at least they don't have to go and kill quickly or straight after that. At least they get a fair share of food out of a buffalo. As well with the lions, when they start chasing them, they'll try and chase him and wait, chase him and wait, chase him, and wait till there's like a calf or there's an old one or an injured one that starts falling behind the rest of the herd, and that's when they'll take that opportunity to try and get that one, that individual, take that one down, and hoping that the rest of the herd does not come back. But one thing about a buffalo, they can stand together. Oh, Russell, no idea, Russell. We've just got into the sighting now, so I've got no clue. There's buffaloes far in the distance. There's these ones. There's quite a few further up. No, Russell, if I could say 50 to 200. Let's say that between 50 and 200. That is my estimate on herd. See, this one is rubbing against his friend, rubbing against the tree. A bit of a scratch there. Maybe you'll find lions, or maybe it's wait for later on tonight. Nikaya, yes, maybe there's going to be an Easter buffalo buffet for those lions. You never know. You never know. They're clearly off, but there's just a little one. I don't know if you can see that one cat lying in the grass here. A little calf, very small one there. Look at that, a little calf. Oh, that's cute. And a little, the ones haven't even come out yet. Oh, you know, like that. Those little ones are always, and they're just on the outskirts. It's actually, that one's pretty much almost like the closest to the lions. Usually you'll find those little calves, the old ones, will be in the center of the herd, you know, being protected by the bigger males and, you know, more experienced females and all that. And they'll kind of making sure that those young ones are safe. But that one is not all by itself, but it's very close to the lions. Get up, little one. You must rather move away from there. All right, I just want to say thank you to everybody for helping us to get to that $130,000 US mark. We really do appreciate it, and we are so thankful for that. And we are going to keep that donation drive going while we try and build a war chest until Sunday next week. That is the 7th of April. On that day, we will have a town hall to regroup again and explain what has developed over the last 2 weeks and chart a way forward. So yes, please keep signing the petition. And you can just go and take a look at our hashtag Wild Earth for the link to the petition. It's change.org. And we reached 10,000 signatures, which is fantastic. It is fantastic. Thank you so much. And that is pretty much a petition against multi-choice, just saying that, listen, we are here to showcase these beautiful African animals, and it's a unique show. It's live, it's interactive, and it's all about Africa. It's about our heritage. Oh, here comes a nice male, and he's like, he's coming in here just like coming to investigate. Who are you guys? What is happening? Oh, there's two big males. There's a big boy at the back. Oh. Hello. Knowing Gert and myself with buffaloes and lions, we have to keep that in mind. Several months ago, we had a nice encounter not too far from here, actually a stone throw away from here, where a buffalo ran into Rusty. And those buffaloes were being chased by lions.
Experience captivating wildlife documentaries showcasing incredible animal behavior for free by visiting lionmountain.tv or downloading the app, accessible on both Apple and Android platforms.
develop your own confidence in that regard and look at the subtle signs that the elephants are always giving you. Monica, a little baby elephant, is a tank. I mean, that elephant there probably weighs 300 kilograms, maybe more. I mean, it's 100 kilograms at birth, and that's a good 3 years old, so it could even be 400 kilograms. So you do the math, a 400 kilogram animal running into you, yes, it could definitely do some damage. Will it though? It's unlikely. It's unlikely. It could, but it's unlikely that it would. So 2.5, maybe 3. See, the tusks are just emerging out. And the whistling of the African grey hornbill. Oh yes, she does, Kelly. She trusts Uncle Steve, that's correct. We're just here to view them, to enjoy them, to spend time in their space. They are sentient beings, everybody. And for the most part, elephants in this part of the reserve are incredibly relaxed. Don't take it like that is always the case. I think there's some challenges when guides are trained in places like this. They then go to other places and they think elephants are the same. My advice always, every single time you see elephants, is stop from a distance and observe the behavior. Distance enough so that you can still react if you need to. And when I say react, it's drive away if you need to. Don't just drive into a herd and be like, oh, I've spent time with elephants in the Sabi Sands. I know exactly how they are. Every single day, just like you and me, we can wake up on the wrong side of bed. And when you, the size of an elephant, if you wake up on the wrong side of bed, it can go quite badly for whoever decides to push that boundary. So bear that in mind. But an elephant that is not relaxed, you will know. A lot of people say, how will you know? You will know. From a distance, they don't like the sound of your car, you will know. And then the best thing is to just leave. If you're getting reactions out of a herd, don't stay, rather go. Negative reactions, rather move on. Canine girl, I suppose it would have been an elephant in 2007. I was doing some field work with Michelle Henley, who used to run Save the Elephants, or what's called Elephants Alive now. And we were out on a field trip, and we were in an open Land Rover, Land Cruiser vehicle, I'm not sure. And this big elephant bull walked. We encountered this herd, and this big elephant bull. See how she's walking like that? That's the downhill, everybody. She's not suddenly deciding she's charging us. It's just a little bit of a downhill. Like, she's very relaxed. And this big elephant bull walked up to the front of the vehicle, and Michelle and I didn't have any experience at that point. Not much, anyway. Maybe a couple of months. And this big elephant bull walked up to the front of the vehicle, and it put its trunk over the bonnet, into the car, touched Michelle's face, touched my face, left this salivary, snotty secretion on my face, and then touched it to its own mouth, and then walked past. And it was a big elephant bull, and in that moment I just realized the connection with elephants. I realized the intelligence. I realized in that moment the body language and how this animal hadn't shown any negative behavior. It just walked up, it was curious, very curious, walked right up to us, checked us out, said we were cool, and then sauntered off again. So that was a magical experience. Doesn't happen to everybody, I promise. But if it ever does happen, just breathe it in and enjoy. So they're now 8 or 9 meters from us. They've closed this distance. The youngster's suckling. You wouldn't see a youngster suckling if the adult is upset. It's like, think about a human with their baby. If the mum's upset, you're not going to have the baby suckling unless it's to try to pacify the baby. The mother's going to have other things in front of her she needs to address. But if she is pacifying the baby and breastfeeding, then everything is normally quite relaxed. So if elephants are practicing any normal behavior, from drinking, mud wallowing, suckling, feeding, soak it up. Soak it up. See, this cheeky little boy is going to come at us now from the side. You are so cheeky. He's been given the confidence now to be confident because Mum hasn't said he can't. Mum hasn't said there's anything wrong with us. So he's now showing, oh, Guido, how special, hey? This is exactly what it's all about. So he's showing all the telltale signs of an elephant that is trying to intimidate, but he's a youngster. You know, if Mum does this, it's terrifying. But he's not quite sure why it's not working against us. I said, go away. They do this to birds as well, bear that in mind, hey? Anything small on the ground, a young elephant will chase and shove and do exactly that. Oh, come on. Come on. Now Mum's going to come and say, stop that now. Stop that. Stop that. Stop being silly. You see how she moved up and just touched him with her trunk. Said, come on, stop playing with the people there. Stop playing with these nice people. Which is exactly what you do as a parent if your child is comfortable to the point where they're being a little bit reckless with other people. You'll come up and say, sorry about my child, it's just had a little bit too much sugar this morning. You just sort of pacify and pull it back. It's exactly what just happened there. And then the adult continues to feed. And don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to breathe. The youngster's behavior has completely changed since Mum touched it on the side. But it might happen again because Mum's not looking anymore. Let me chase him one more time. How truly special is that? Okay, well, we're going to spend a while longer with these elephants because they're just such good value. But I think Cedric is still with his herd of buffalo.
Thank you, Steve-O's, and nice that you got all the little calves around there. Always nice to have those little elephant calves in your presence because it's always entertaining. A lot of entertainment. You gotta love that. We're still here with our buffaloes. Still sitting with the buffaloes. It's pretty much lying around here just to the west of Twin Dams. Not much movement. Still just resting. As you can see, there's a little calf. Actually, two calves there. You can see they are. Another one at the back end is fast asleep. This one is just staring at us. And look at those cute little ears. I love those little calves, and I mean those little ears are just absolutely adorable. Little horns coming through slowly but surely, and chewing on its cud. And clearly you can see these buffaloes aren't in a hurry this morning. They're not in a hurry. And there's Mom, or the calf, just to the left. The Mom's always keeping a close eye on them, always close by. So there was a census, when I'm talking about census on numbers of animals here in the Greater Kruger National Park, there was a census for most animals, just to see exactly how many individuals are here in the Greater Kruger Park. And it's not, there's no ways that you can be accurate. There's absolutely no ways. You can imagine this park it's huge. It's 2.2 million hectares big. So this park's like the size of Netherlands, or you can actually fit about 11 or 12 Manhattans into the Greater Kruger National Parks. And it's very thick areas, there's drainage lines, there's mountain ranges here in the Kruger Park. So there's no ways that you can really put a perfect number on it. But the census is just more of a rough idea, a rough number. And they usually do it by helicopter and trap cams, and there's certain ways that they get numbers down here. And the numbers of buffaloes, the last census that was taken down for buffaloes here in the Greater Kruger Park was in 2021, and they did a count on all the buffaloes here. And apparently the estimate of buffaloes in the Greater Kruger Park was around about 30,000 buffaloes. So 30,000 individuals in the Greater Kruger Park. That's a lot of buffaloes. But usually they'll all pretty much split up in herds, like this one now. Sometimes you get 200, 300, 400, 500 in a herd. Many times it will be split up in the herd, and when it comes to winter times, they start kind of merging again. Some of the herds will actually start merging just to keep safety in numbers, because then all of a sudden winter time there's not much food around, body condition deteriorates, and then they need numbers just to protect themselves from predators like the lions. And then when summertime comes again, a lot of rain, a lot of food all over the show, they tend to kind of start breaking off in smaller herds. Sorry, Jode, I did not pick up on the question or comment that came through. Luke, you say you like a good buffalo sighting. Oh, yes, indeed. Look at a little one just going by there. Luke, it is a beautiful buffalo sighting, and I can't wait to see where these buffaloes end up. I'm hoping that they do head down towards Twin Dams. I know it sounds bad, but I tell you, you want some action out here. You want some action. Well, there's a little one that's to the left there. I don't know if you can get that. He's just got up now. Yeah, he's coming towards us now. There he is. Hello, he's got a little red-billed oxpeck on him. Oh, look at that stretching. Oh, little buffalo. Little male.
Experience captivating wildlife documentaries showcasing incredible animal behavior for free by visiting lionmountain.tv or downloading the app, accessible on both Apple and Android platforms.
Welcome back live, everybody. We're just repositioning ourselves to get another walk by from our herd of elephants. Got their line of angle, and well, hopefully they'll do us the favor of being polite and walking right up. And their decision to come as close as they want to is really up to them, because there's lots of space, there's lots of area to move. We're not blocking their pathway at all. She suddenly stopped again. She's looking, going, is it you again? Let me just ascertain. Yeah? Okay, it's all good. It's the same people before. They're relaxed. I quite like them. Eyes are semi-shut. Feeding. And if you can see the whites of an elephant's eyes, when their eyes blare open, then their behavior is about to change. And you saw a little bit there, she's thinking. When their eyes flare wide open, it's a very obvious sign that something is about to shift in their behavior. It's not easy to see always. BK, are you okay? It sounds like you're going to die on the back there. Are you okay?
Nah, I'm okay.
We need to get you some medicine. Once again, the baby left out on the open, close enough to be snatched up by us if we wanted to, of course. We won't. Okay, so we've got the two little youngsters. Which one's going to come and play with us? This one over here looks like he's starting to sneak up behind us. What do you think, BK? He's thinking about it. This little youngster's feeding on the grass seeds. Perhaps they'll stay in one herd. What might happen is, for example, you get a matriarch and she's got a daughter. That daughter then, obviously, because the matriarch becomes a granny eventually, she's had a number of daughters, and then her oldest daughter is quite old now, and she's got her own daughters and granddaughters, and what can quite often happen is that the herd can split just because of food resource. And so you'll then find those herds coming together again at set times in the year when the resources are in abundance, or in the dry season when they're accumulating around water. And you might find quite large herds of elephant together, 100, 200. And when you look closely at it, you'll often notice the very particular family units. Well, you're going to come right behind us, aren't you? It was such a great example if we could get him on camera there, because he's flaring his eyes. Sorry, he's just behind us. This youngster was charging right up to us behind, and the eyes are flared open, the head is up, and you can actually see the whites of the eyes. But we're going to have a look at this one now. Hello. Hello, little one. You can see the whites of the eyes there. It's like, oh, this is so exciting. What's going on here? I'm on TV. How many countries am I being watched in right now? Goodness gracious. No tusks yet. Physically puts its mouth down to grab. Stuck in bed, I'm so glad that you have learned lots about elephants from me. It is definitely something that I think is important to communicate. They are such majestic animals, and if I can give off a small percentage of the information I have, and if I can be a part of people enjoying sightings with elephants and not sitting with their white knuckles clinging to the dashboard of a vehicle, then my job is complete. I do receive emails and messages regularly of people who found themselves with elephants and have managed to navigate it in such a beautiful way, even to communicate it with their kids. And that is how we learn. A lot of human-wildlife conflicts and a lot of the nonsense that goes on around the world is because of ignorance, because of people not knowing. Through knowledge, through wisdom, we can share information on how to observe and spend time with animals without influencing them, without feeling a negative something. None of these animals are out to get us, everyone. They're all living their life. It's us who are in the way, to be honest with you. I mean, elephants, just like lions and buffalo, are regarded as potentially dangerous animals. Why do I say the word potentially? Because it's only when we put ourselves in the situation that they become dangerous. The only reason an elephant reacts negatively to a human is because of a long history of human-wildlife conflict, or because of the experience that that elephant has encountered with humans, and it learns from that experience. Okay, I've done a lot of talking. I'm just going to be quiet for a little while and allow us to just soak up the scene and enjoy the sounds of the elephants feeding.
Well spotted, Natalie. Let the mother knows we've spotted it. This is the first time we've seen this, everyone. That's spectacular. Look at that. We didn't even see it. Please, will you go and check the grebes? And I said, yes, okay, but keep checking. Oh, now let's look. Let's see if there aren't some more. Because they may take over from one another. The other parent might take over. Look, the little one's moving. It's in the water. Might be lifted up now into the nest. The other eggs are still eggs. At least 2 of them. And often she'll cover them up. Yeah, there are 3 eggs, it looks like there. So that's the eldest. That little one. So cute. Well spotted by the final control room.
Well, it's nice to see those little grebes, always beautiful little babies. And, well, talking about birds, yeah, we have got 2 blacksmith lapwings that's busy moving along the water edge. Actually, 3 blacksmith lapwings. Oh, one's taking a nice bath. There we go. A little bit of bath time. The 2 are busy catching little insects. That's nice. I like the little early morning bath like this. It's not hot at all, so I think just maybe taking a quick dip. Oh, all of them are going for a dip there. That's nice. A little, almost like being dunked in like a little rusk. Oh, all three of them. That is nice. It's a bird pool party. How about that? A bird pool party. Oop, that one got a fright. Always got to sometimes love these blacksmith lapwings. Always hanging around, and they've got the most cutest little chicks as well, like little fur balls with a beak and two little sticks coming out at the bottom. It's like the little chicks are so adorable. To tell the difference between male and female with lapwings is it's difficult. I will not be able to tell the difference. I will not know if it's a male or a female. They are one of those birds that it's pretty much they look the same. You usually always think that the males are prettier, but the crowned lapwing, blacksmith lapwing, they all pretty much look, even the Senegal, all look the same, male and the female. There we go, preening the feathers. Early morning preening, maintaining those feathers for the day, getting rid of unwanted ones. Almost like doing a little bit of a dance for us, a dance off. Almost nice, almost like rubbing the two feathers together, or the two wings together. And you can see how they actually kind of bring the two wings together, and then they're kind of rubbing it together. And almost like, yes, breakfast time, yes. It's like when we rub our hands together. With Tessia, those legs look very fragile, very thin. But you must remember, a bird is not a heavy animal, so a bird is very light. It's almost like hollowed out bones to kind of, the lighter, easier to fly. You don't want this heavy lead bird flying around, because that's just not going to be perfect for that bird. It's going to use too much energy to try and even take off. So the lighter the better. So those little legs ain't going to be holding up too much weight. So we are at Twin Dams, yeah. So we have returned back to the Lions, and are still pretty much, as you can see now, all the lions are just all relaxing. Now the Talamati male has gone in the center there now, so he's pretty much in the center of all the females and the young male. So there he is, lying a little bit closer to Cello, which is right at the end. But yeah, well, we will see how this story unfolds. It's going to be quite interesting to see what happens with this young male. What is he going to do? Is he going to try and remain with the pride and move around with them, or are they going to accept him, or is he just going to be here for a day or two and then he is going to move on? So yeah, interesting times coming ahead for him. Yeah, Canaan girl, you'll find sometimes she'll help this. She'll assist the pride, Cello. She'll assist the pride Canaan girl. Yeah. But if they go too far away, and then she's going to go back to her cubs. She wants to make sure that the cubs get enough milk. But if she's not eating, she's not producing milk. So she's got to help. She's got to make sure that she's also going to get a fair share of meat in her belly to get to produce that milk. No, I don't know what's played out. There she is now. So I don't know what's played out during the night time. Did she return back to the cubs? I don't think so. I don't think she's going to do that while this male is here. You know, it's also a big thing. You know, just now she decides to go back to the cubs with him following suit. It's going to be pretty much detrimental to the cubs. You know, he will go and kill them. So rather just stay with the pride, almost kind of throw them a dummy to the male. It's like, don't worry, I'm still here with the rest of the pride, so there's nothing happening here. There's no youngsters that you can look for and kill. So I think that's exactly what's happened over here over the night. There you go. Let's see which one is. She's also just looking around. Apparently they said there's lions, there was lions at Gari Dam. Jared, do you know anything about that? I just heard somebody say something about someone's going to follow up on lions around Gari Dam. Okay, thanks, Jared. I haven't seen anything. Maybe that person got the wrong update. I'm going to go all the way there for nothing.
We've got a refreshing splash of entertainment this March. Africam is surfacing with a new show. Join us every morning and submerge yourself in nature's ambience. Watch it live and transport yourself to the finest watering holes across Africa. Wild Earth, connecting with nature.
Welcome back live, everybody. We left our small group of Ellies. We're now just headed onto our eastern boundary. Drive up to the northern boundary. Lots of elephant activity around here. Lots of digging. I wonder if you can get this, BK. Now, the tree that we have over here is called the... Oh, I'm in Torchwood right now. It's okay. I think I'll be all right. This is the bloodwood or the round leaf teak. And the plant itself, they can get normally quite big. But here in the Sabi Sands, the elephants just absolutely smash it. All this digging that we see over here is the elephants looking for the roots of this round-leaf teak. And they can be normally a lot bigger. So when we look in here, there's actually lots and lots of rootstock from the round-leaf teak that we just see the stems growing out the top, but there is a physical tree growing out of the ground all around here. But the ellies don't allow them to grow. They enjoy them very, very much. And this time of year, after a little bit of moisture, they really can get in and dig and access it just with their feet, like earth moving. That's why we grade roads and do road repairs when there's been a bit of moisture, because the ground's a lot softer. And elephants are accessing that. So, fields of round-leaf teak here. You might ask, why do I call it a bloodwood? Okay, let me show you why. Do you know why it's called a bloodwood, BK? You don't? Okay, let me show you. Okay, it's very wet. But if you have a look on the leaves, it's not very clear in this light, but in certain lights, those little dots there are red. Red dots. I don't actually know what causes it, I forget. But you find them all over, and it almost looks like blood spoor. So almost looks like an animal that was shot, was sort of spurting blood as it went away. Hunters would talk about blood spoor. If they've hunted an animal and they're tracking it, they're actually following the trail of blood. And so bloodwood is where it gets its name from. Who knew? BK apparently didn't know. I knew, though. I didn't make that one up on the spot. Nathan, I love plants. I spend a lot of time with plants. I did a master's in conservation which focused on medicinal plants. So I suppose you could say so. It was a conservation in sustainability, but the focus was medicinal plants. I've got a conservation diploma turned into a degree, turned into a master's, or an honors turned into a master's. So huge focus on the natural world, huge focus on the ecological function and processes, and on the management, ecology and conservation of areas. And plants form a massive role in that. In our BTEC, or our honors year, we do a subject called Plant Studies 4. So we've done plants 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we've also done animals 1 through to 4, ecology 1 through to 4. So it's a very broad scope of things. And then the master's is often very, very directional. Much more directional. I was in line to do a PhD a couple times. I never got around to doing it. But maybe in the coming years, I still have the potential to do a PhD. Dr. Falconbridge has got a nice ring to it, BK, don't you think? Dr. Falconbridge. Hello, Dr. Falconbridge. I wouldn't do it just for that. The objective is if I do a PhD, which I nearly did a couple times, whatever it is I do the PhD, that's going to be my career moving forward. It's not going to be just something to do a project on and then, hey, you got a PhD now. It's going to be something that I do that's going to become or go down some viable commercial line. So if any of you are out there watching and you have some ideas and maybe you want to have a connection or chat with me about that, I'm very open to that conversation. Very open to that conversation. PhDs require funding, which you often get through the universities. But if there's a private enterprise that's looking to research something specific, think about plants and sustainability and medicinal plants. That's somewhere that I like to move into. If you have an idea and a project that you may be looking to get off the ground and you want someone to study it, give me a shout. Maybe it can align. When I started my master's, I didn't secure much funding when I started. That was a big no-no. Essentially, I finished my honors and the master's kind of just fell into my lap. And then I hadn't had time to get the funding together. I got some university funding, but it was a very difficult year that first year. I managed to get some funding from a private enterprise during that first year, and then I got funding from the National Research Foundation for scarce skills and knowledge, and that brought in lots of money, which was good. So I've made that point, is I'll never do a research project again without funding being secured beforehand, because sometimes that can really slow things down. And as you know, everything that's going on at the moment, money really can just complicate things. Well, stuck in bed, where do you live? Where do you live? I'd love to recommend a tree. I don't know where you live though, but a tree that we found out here that I think would be so beautiful for anyone's garden is either an apple leaf or a tree wisteria. Beautiful, beautiful trees. The tree wisteria gives off these beautiful purple flowers, very much like a normal creeping wisteria, and speciosa is the species name. It's because it means beautiful flower, beautiful long purple hanging flower. So those are nice trees. A jackalberry is a beautiful tree to have as well. A baobab you might not really see come to fruition at any time soon, but it really depends where you are. Stuck in bed, I can't really recommend a tree to you unless I know exactly where you are. And if you're able to import the seed. If you're in South Africa, well then, let's have a chat. But sometimes, you know, some of these seeds, they don't want them to be exported, but I don't think a tree wisteria is going to be a problem, or an apple leaf. Okay, so we're going to cut through here, go down towards Buffelshoek Dam, and we're going to go check out Cedric, who has left his buffalo on a non-live drive, and he's caught up with some ground squirrels.
Oh, we've got some little ground squirrels. Look at this. So I haven't seen ground squirrels, so this is amazing. This is something new to me, and it is so cute. Look at how they are foraging around together and eating all the little nuts and seeds that's around here. So cute, and how they hold those little seeds. Oh, they are so cute. Of course, completely different to our tree squirrels that you get there at Juma. Much smaller, big fluffy tails. But the ground squirrels definitely much larger. And well, they are in a group as well, so that is amazing. Apparently they hang around in, of course, they're like, they say, gender groups, like males all together and of course females all together. But we took a look around at some of them. Yeah, there is one or two males, a female, and there's also a youngster that's busy foraging around here, eating all the little seeds.
Are you a wildlife fanatic, glued to YouTube for your daily dose of animal antics? Then welcome to Africam's wildlife community. By joining our YouTube memberships, you get no ads, just wild live streams, chat with other bush fans, get early access to exciting camera spots, and flex your wildlife knowledge with fun quizzes. Visit Africam's YouTube channel and click the join button now.
Lorraine, without drinking milk, mom's milk, I think you're pushing it when you come to like 4 or 5 days. I think 4 days you start pushing it, and that's when they start coming to the end. I say 4 or 5 days without milk, that's fine, but then from there it's going to be a problem. And you see, there's still the Talamati young male. This is just pretty much almost like being accepted in a way, because you must remember, he's also got pretty much the same genes as some of the youngsters coming from the Voca males, from the same fathers, or from the same coalition, let's say from the same coalition. So at the end of the day, there is a little bit of resemblance when it comes to genetic side of things with some of the young ones here. Maybe that's why they kind of accepted him a little bit easier. Now, I don't know where his brother, he hasn't been for quite some time, so he's got a brother, he's also gone. Yeah, but Jerome is still young, he's still getting, like what Gert said a little bit earlier, it's funny that lions start off bald and then they get hair. Where us humans, we start off with hair and we go bald, so, yeah. He will give and take another 2 years. 2 years, once he's got a territory, once his testosterone is pretty much, how can I say, in full swing, and he wants to mate with females and all that, and you can find that the mane starts growing much quicker at that time. But before that, he's just still nomadic. He's still trying to find his place in the reserve. And well, I guess he finds it nice and safe here with his pride of lions. Maybe he feels that, well, at least they can do some hunting and he can pretty much score off that hunt. Well, he's got a nice big head as well, so as you can see, he's getting a nice dark mane coming through. Even the top is getting nice and dark. But he's big. He is quite a big male. So yeah, but he's still looking up straight towards where he's looking now. He's looking towards where the buffaloes are. No, I'm sure all of them, yeah. I'm sure that's the safest. I don't think a predator will just have a cub here in the open clearing and leave it here and go out. No, they'll all have den sites. They'll all have a lair somewhere. If it's in the rocky outcrop, if it's in a drainage line, if it's in a very thick, dense area, there's always some sort, like kind of, how can I say, how do you classify a den site? I mean, well, you can't say, well, that this is just a den. There's nothing else in a den. No. I think a den can be anything from, as I say, with chiller in this very thick spike thorn thicket. Well, that can be classified as a den. As I say, maybe under a single rock in a drainage line, that could be classified as a den. A termite mound with a hole in it, that can be classified as a den. So there's so many things that you can classify as a den. But I don't think like a big open clearing like this won't be classified as a den, because for a predator to kind of leave their little cubs or pups here, it'll be very negligent. And keeping that nice mane of his nicely groomed and maintained. Oh, sneeze. Sneeze? No. Yeah, I thought it was, I just wanted to think I was going to sneeze there. Maybe he just had a hair stuck in between his teeth there. I'm not too sure. Tammy, no, it's amazing that he just worked himself in between these females. He's done well. I think he's really kind of pulled off a real like sneaky move. Like, yeah, let me just be part of this pride. At least I've got some backing here. My hunts will be easier. My meals are going to come easier. If not, why not? Playing his cards just right. But as I say, coming with body-wise, he's a beast. We saw these tracks the other day. I mean, his one paw is the size of almost like a dinner plate. It's huge. Big paws, as well as body-wise, big as well. And it's got like a greyish look to him, his coloration. He's got the tawny, but there's a bit of greyness coming through, and that's where dark mane used to be like that. And dark mane is pretty much suggested or seen as being the father of this male. See all the girls. Oh, that is, on a day like that looks so comfortable. I wish I could just be there now. That looks so comfy. On a Sunday morning, sleep in. Isn't that sweet? Got a pillow. She's got a paw on top of her head. Yeah, the buffalo's going grunting again just to the west of us. Still hoping that they are going to come down. I guess we'll have to wait patiently, have our patient pants on for this morning. All right, well, we're going to sit here. Let's head over to Steve as he has made his way down to the northeastern corner to a beautiful dam called Buffelshoek Dam.
Well, everybody, welcome to Buffelshoek Dam. And you've got patience pants on as well. And so does this floating bit of driftwood that you see over here. The reason why we have stopped at this watering hole is because there is apparently a large herd of elephant on their way slowly here from the eastern side. We had their tracks on the boundary when you were last with us, and I was saying there's lots of elephant activity. Well, we heard an elephant a few minutes ago, and we're anticipating a decent sized herd coming down here to drink. There's no rush, of course, because there's lots of moisture in the landscape, but they won't bypass a watering hole if it's on their way. Most animals, and that's what this crocodile is anticipating. There are fish in this watering hole, and crocodiles do feed mainly on fish and small crocodiles. But we do know that they will eat antelope up to the size of a wildebeest, and even which was captured in Phinda a couple of years ago live on the Wild Earth show, cheetah. So anything small enough that ventures too close to the water's edge is game for a crocodile, although a buffalo and up is normally a little bit too big. A little bit too big to wrap their teeth around. Hannah, you say that until you see it. There's a frightening thing. Something so prehistoric about them. And you see a crocodile on foot and just everything in your body goes, move, leave, get out of here. It's happened to me a couple of times. With all the training I have, I still have an adverse reaction internally at crocodile on foot. I mean, what do you do? A crocodile runs at you. Beat it on the head. Yeah. BK says he's going to run. BK, don't. Whatever you do in the bush, don't run. You know, you find one on foot, you just don't know what to do. Most of the trackers I've worked with in my life, this is the animal they don't trust. They can understand animal behavior across the board, but a crocodile, so you can't trust these things. There's no way that they're never going to behave in the same way. Opportunistic, incredibly patient, can go for a very long time without eating, a very long time without breathing. And they submerge themselves in water. I went to the Australia Zoo years ago when I was in Australia, the Steve Irwin Zoo up in Queensland. And there they've got saltwater crocodiles in these small little pools, and the water's clear, not like this where you can't see underneath the surface. And then they've got someone who stands on this sort of jetty-like boardwalk above the crocodile, and they show you how that crocodile launches out the water to catch, I don't know, the piece of meat or whatever that they're dangling. Not a big fan of that sort of thing. But in a pool that would probably be shallow enough for me to maybe submerge my knee, maybe less, this crocodile twists itself, tail and whole body twists, and then it launches completely vertically up. Terrifying. Terrifying. So 50-kilometer radius from a crocodile infested water source. Be aware there could be a crocodile. Don't ever just go with it. My dad grew up in Zambia, northern Rhodesia, and they used to swim in crocodile-infested lakes and rivers up there. And one of them would sit up in the tree and watch. He'd be the brandwacht, he'd be the watcher. And if a crocodiles came, hey, everybody out the water, and everyone would get out the water. Michael, aren't crocodiles slow on water? Yes, they're slowish on water, but they can move. They have an incredible amount of speed on water, but it's not necessarily the speed that does something to my soul. I've been walking along, and a crocodile stood up on the bank and looked at me and then slid into the water. And in my heart, my body just went, compose yourself, Steve. You're a lead trails guide. You've got guests behind you. Let's just talk about this calmly. Hello, everybody. So, how did that make you feel? It's what it does to me. I can't explain it. This is prehistoric. There's a history of humans living on the landscape, interacting with these creatures, and it's got a lot of danger, So if I see a hippo on foot, a very similar feeling runs through me. So you don't quite know which way it's going to go. You can see hundreds of hippos in dams, hundreds of crocodiles in dams, but when you find them on foot, a few years ago we were on a bushwalk towards Gowrie Dam, and we followed up on some alarm calls, and we got to the other side of the dam, and we got this track of a huge crocodile that had crossed the road away from the dam into the block. Now, Kalamba had made a kill. There was a hyena trying to steal the kill, and the crocodile trying to steal the kill at the same time. Was that with you, BK?
Yeah, bushwalk.
You, me, and Morris.
Yeah.
And now we're basically between the water and this crocodile, and there's a leopard, a hyena, and a crocodile all competing for Kalamba's kill. Thankfully, James got on the scene quickly with the vehicle and then went and viewed all of that, and then we left. Because next thing you know, obviously the crocodile's going to come charging back to the water, and it was a big crocodile It was a big crocodile. So there's something about moments like that that are just surreal. Leopard competing over a kill with a crocodile. I've seen images of crocodiles coming out of the river or the dam and taking kills from lions. Well, that's incredibly brave, isn't it? Incredibly brave. The lions tried to pull it back, but it just didn't quite have the bite force.
Out in the wild, life moves fast. To capture the action, you've got to be in the right spot at the wrong time. Now, incredible animal behavior, selected from amazing amateur and professional footage, to reveal the secret lives of animals in motion. This is raw nature, caught in the act.
Wild Earth, connecting with nature.
Well, as you can see, it is starting to rain quite a bit. Not rain, it's like just very heavy drizzle at the moment, and all the little drops coming through, and even the lions have got their heads up and trying to figure out what are they going to do. Maybe going to take cover under one of the bushes here somewhere. They didn't even predict this morning. But then all of a sudden it is coming down. Decently, quite a bit actually. I don't think it looks like this might be like a set-in drizzle, but look at the females. They're still looking at where those buffaloes are. We just heard the buffaloes grunting once again, a little bit further in. And also, I just spoke to another guy about this young male Talamati. So what happened is that he said that last night when we left here, he remained here. And yeah, exactly at this little spot here, the elephants were chasing them still around, and then the females actually got hold of him, a few of the females, and gave him a little bit of a hiding. Told him, listen, you better watch out, don't step out of line. And so they did give him a little bit of a hiding, and I think that's why he seems like he's behaving this morning. So well done on the Nkuhumas. Looks like the oxpeckers are all going crazy there, so maybe the buffaloes might be heading this way. Yeah, Gaby, I don't know. If the buffaloes see they're going to take notice of the lions and they're going to get all their heads up and all that, then a grunt or two, you'll find that they'll all kind of congregate very tight and close together, and maybe try and chase him off, or just turn around and head in the opposite direction. Very difficult to say exactly what they will do. Sappy, those Inyari just lalapans, huh? So I'm just going to let ask the other guy here, because he's just come from the buffaloes. You can see still some of the females fast asleep. The young male, the female lying on the young male's legs there. A nice boy. Oh, he's got his head up now. Starting to hear the buffaloes. Almost sounds like they're coming closer, I heard. Almost sounds the grunting is getting in, and the bellowing sounds like it's getting more prominent here. Yeah, a lot of there'll be more grunting happening now. Yeah, we'll see what happens, yeah. So let's see from this other guy here now. Sappy. Oh, I don't know, I think it's not even working anymore, my radio. Luckily, the drizzle has subsided a little bit. I'll just have to turn my radio off here quickly. Let's see, why is it not queuing? Just busy here quickly, Jared, with the radio. Let's see if the button works now, yeah. Sappy. There it works now. I had to give it a bit of a reboot. This is live, this is interactive, as you can see. So if you've got any comments, questions that you want to send through to us, if you are watching on the Wild Earth website, make sure that you do register so you can send those comments and questions through. Or if you just want to join us on the chat, just go onto our YouTube channel or just go onto #WildEarth on X. All right, so well, Steve's patience has paid off there at Buffelshoek Dam for those elephants. Let's head over to him to go and see what's happening at that dam.
Indeed, said as our patience has paid off, and that huge herd of elephant we were told about has emerged into one elephant. There are more, we're sure. Just as you left us before, we saw two young bulls, this being one of them, having a bit of a push around just up the road there. And I think this young bull just knows, I better go drink before the rest come, because, you know, it's not polite for me to drink with them. So I always have to either wait until everyone's finished, or I have to go stand over there on the side anyway. So I might as well go now while they're all taking their time coming down. It's a nice cool morning. It's drizzling a little bit here and there, so there's no urgency for the elephants to get here. They've got a lot of feeding to do, and they will eventually get here when the need to drink increases. And we're going to just wait patiently until that happens. Lola, well, let's think about it. What animals have tusks? We've got elephants, we've got warthogs, have actually got tushes, which they use for fighting. And then we've got porcupine, and they've got very long rodent-like teeth. And porcupine have been known to ring bark. Well, not necessarily ring, but access little areas where the bark is delicious or where the root is exposed. They'll dig up, they'll feed on the roots. They don't normally do an entire scarf or ring around the tree. Elephants don't either, generally. Both of them will damage the tree or the bark in certain places to access the nutrient-rich, sugar-filled, medicine-rich bark that the tree has provided. But it's not common to see a tree completely ring-barked in one go by an elephant, although it does happen. But I can't think of other animals that will ring-bark through feeding. Buffalo and impala, and maybe even wildebeest, will thrash at the tree to strengthen their neck, strengthen their fighting ability, and that often leads to a tree getting damage to the bark. And any damage to bark could potentially be a death sentence to a tree, because it's the protective layer that keeps the insects out, it keeps the fat, it keeps the bacteria and fungus from attacking the wood, and also keeps it from dehydrating. But once a tree has been damaged or injured, it's essentially like you or I. If we have a wound on our skin, if we don't treat the wound or cover it up, it can lead to infection and can lead to problems down the line. But all natural, all part and parcel of what happens out here. But the primary reason why elephants have tusks is to be able to break sticks and gouge into trees to access the bark. The males obviously take that to another level. They've got much bigger tusks, and they use them for fighting. Females, of course, will use theirs for defense and for gouging other elephants, as well as predators that are trying to cause themselves or their youngsters harm. But I don't know of warthog who have got tushes, which are extensions of their teeth. If they do any form of ring barking, they are primarily grazers. They will dig up roots of grasses and bulbs. I'm trying to think what other... I think walruses got tusks, don't they? I don't think they even have ever seen a tree in their lives, a walrus.
Oh, how time flies when you're having fun. Wild Earth is turning 17 and we want to make the years count. 17 years of achievements, close encounters, and special memories.
He's got it, and he's straight up a tree.
Come along as we reflect on our top 17 greatest moments. Here's to more years of connecting you to nature. Wild Earth, connecting with nature.
Lion on a lion. There's one buffalo, sounds like coming towards the water here now. Slowly but surely, I think we might have some action. Maybe right at the end of the drive, it's going to be like last night again. I think right at the end of the drive, it seems like everything has been happening. So, let's see. Theo, they've been brought up together. So, they've been from all their lives. Oh, here comes a buffalo there, just to the back there. There's a buffalo. Just you see where Chella is. So just behind that guarri bush on the right top here. I'll see there. Just there. There's a buffalo coming. All right. Is this gonna be the moment? Let's see. You can see the lions all taken notice of that buffalo. Doo. Sounds like the buffaloes are all coming this side as well. All right, so Jared, stay with us, because this is going to be now interesting to see how this plays out. What are the lions going to do? Are they going to flank that one? Because it's just one lonely male there at the moment. And as you know, the Nkuhumas, they are specialists at hunting buffaloes, so they know. And this is not their first rodeo. And now they've also got the assistance of the Talamati male. And you can see how they're just sussing it out. But it's a big male buffalo that is going to be very tricky, very risky. Very risky. Yeah, just him there, so I don't want to caution there. Just, as you can see, the buffalo is almost oblivious. Oh, he sees them. I'm sure he can pick up on the scent of them, but he's also going to try and head back to the rest of the herd. That buffalo. It'd be good if he's got some backing there. And he's going to go. Well, looks like he has decided just to turn. Maybe a good choice. Maybe a good decision there. If he did come down, if he did turn towards the water area, he would have come straight towards the lions. Doug is just an old male, you know. Sometimes you'll find the older males start peeling off from the big herds. They don't have that stamina and that energy like the younger ones. So they start peeling off, but you can see the lions are still interested. They're still going to take, and apparently I just spoke to the other gentleman now from another lodge. He said it's just with the buffaloes now. He says that herd of buffaloes is slowly but surely coming down towards Twin Dam. So let's see what plays out. Let's see what happens. You can see the lions are still watching. Even the Talamati male, Kanya, he's also like him. Got his head up there. He's also having a squiz. Young male's like, yep, it was good while it lasted. We shall wait here. Oh, we're both synchronized toilets. Synchronized urinating at the same time. That was funny. It was like at exact the same time. Well, it looks like I just listened to the other guy now. I said that buffalo, one male buffalo, has gone to the rest of the herd now. It's just further. Maggie, yes, everything is in sync. It's amazing. That's why all of a sudden when you just heard, and they heard that buffalo and they saw it, you can just see everybody was just working together very quickly, working out what shall we do. Is this going to be good? Is this bad? Is this the opportunity that we can take here? Yeah, okay, go across that, so you can go across, but let's not try and block the Nyari coming through, yeah. Sorry, I'm just letting the other... So buffaloes are coming this side. I know they should, and especially when it comes to winter time and there's not much water around, you'll find that water holes become way more active, and because it's all water holes that's got water. So that's why, fortunately, you can imagine this water, Twin Dams, at this dam, it's losing a lot of water very quickly. I think we were talking about it a little bit earlier, Gert, myself, and I think end of this winter, I don't think this dam is going to have much water around, but if you're looking at water holes like Buffelshoek Dam, the one where Steve is with that single elephant, I think you'll find something like that water hole is going to be quite busy because it's very deep, it holds water very well. There's still a lot of water in that dam, so I think that's the kind of water hole you must kind of keep your eyes on and go and take a look on a daily basis. Go and take a look there. Water is life. Water is going to attract. Just waiting. Apparently he says there is buffaloes very close by now. You see clearly the females aren't too amped at this point in time. I don't think they really getting ready for any hunt. But if that buffaloes do come further or closer to the dam, then you'll find that they will start positioning themselves in just the right areas. And you can imagine on this clearing having a live hunt, a live kill. Wow. Chilla still got a very sore, you'll see now there, she's got a very sore left front leg. See that? Is it left? Oh no, it's a back left, huh? No, it's a back left, yeah. Sorry, back left. You can see she's struggling to put too much pressure on the back left foot. Maybe a bit of a sprain, but nothing too serious. I mean, she is putting pressure on that back left leg. Yeah, it's a back left. Oh, a bit of greeting there. think she can do with a nice meal now. Just a little milk pouch, got a little bit of milk in there.
We're going to be hosting another town hall. Andre and I will talk about the fundraising drive, the petition, the ramifications of those things. We've certainly ruffled some feathers, and we'll talk about the future. We're going to broadcast the town hall on absolutely every platform that we broadcast to, so it'll be open to everyone. We're also going to continue with the donation drive until midnight on Sunday night.
I'm not too sure exactly what's happened to the buffalo now. The guy said they were right here. I guess they might have just turned a little bit and gone maybe a bit north or maybe gone back west. I'm not too sure. And all of a sudden just changed. Doug, for sure, this is a perfect spot for the hunt. I mean, it's open here, it's at a dam, it's open, it's fantastic. I think, it's almost like we've got front seats here. I was really hoping that it's going to still happen, but it's just, unfortunately with nature, you must remember, with nature, you've got to be patient. You've got to be patient. It's not immediate gratification, yeah. And for them, they've got to position themselves. They've got to kind of work out, is it going to be worthwhile hunting right now in this position? So I think something's coming, because you can see the females are getting their heads up now. Oh, two of them there. I'll call her Queen Chella. She He's the queen of the Nkumas. She's just catching a little bit of a nap now. Grabbing a bit of a cat nap. It looks like everything has settled down now, but yeah. Leah, yes, no, definitely taking a break from her cubs. And I think also a big thing for that, she doesn't want to go there now. She doesn't want to attract the Stella Marti male to where she goes now. If she goes by herself, never know, maybe this male decides to follow her. And that's going to be pretty much detrimental to her cubs, because that male will kill the cubs, because it's not his cubs. So I think she's rather kind of avoiding that now. I'd rather stay here with her pride for the time being, until maybe the pride moves off, and then she can take that gap and that opportunity to try and go back to the cubs. Well, maybe this afternoon we come back and we'll be lucky with a buffalo kill, which will be fantastic. Starlight, when I usually come, she'll say, "Morning, Cedric," and then I'm like, "Hey, Chella," and she's the one that usually greets me by name when I see her in the morning, so that's how I know it's Chella. Yeah. Yep. No, I'm joking. She's just got a black mark on her back left leg, and she's got like a V that's under the right eye, like a little black V under the right eye. So you'll see on the screen it'll be the left eye now. That's difficult to see from here, but yeah. And just a fluffy chin. And a little fluffy chin. And she's got a long face. And she's light. So there's a few things that we can look out for. And she says Cedric. So yes. I see movement at that tree. So I'll quickly get my binoculars out here. There's a big knobthorn tree straight ahead of us. It's coming to from there. And I just saw movement there now. Just behind there, but it's difficult to see. I just saw black movement. Sorry, it's not a knobthorn, it's a marula tree. My apologies. So it just shows you they're not far. And buffs aren't far at all. had to have a sip of coffee just to keep the caffeine levels in my system up and running and going forward. And you can see the sun is coming out now, slowly but surely. The clouds are starting to burn away very slowly. Alright, well, we're going to sit here for the last few minutes, see what else happens here. If anything, I'm sure we will come straight back to us again. But for now, let's head over to Steve to see what's happening on his side.
It rained on us, so we are prepared for more rain. We're slowly sort of just heading back to camp. See what we can find along the way. No more elephants materialized out of that thicket towards Buffelshoek Dam, which is quite disappointing. Apparently it was a huge herd. We saw evidence of the tracks on the boundary, but I only saw two. Anyway, we had a wonderful morning with elephants. Can't have them all. Michael, young bulls, young teenagers, they enjoy the security of the herd, but they don't really want to be seen with the herd. You can imagine if you've got a young teenage boy, or if you know anyone who's got a young teenage boy, 15, 16 years old, and they go out for lunch somewhere, that young teenage boy is going to go sit as far away from everyone as he can and probably have earphones on and be on his phone. But as soon as it comes time to order the food, he'll be involved. As soon as it comes time for someone to pay, he won't be involved, but he'll be around. Or as soon as it comes time for dessert order, he'll be very vocal and very like, I want one of these. But then he'll go sit aloof on the side because he's too cool to hang out with mum and dad and with his siblings. So that's essentially what's happening with a young elephant bull. Very similar. And then once they get to a certain age, they start to show sexual maturity and interest, and the herd actually pushes him away. And then for a year or two, maybe even 3 years, he will follow the herd. He will follow the herd because that's a safety net. He knows the herd guides him, knows where to go, but won't really be in amongst them, won't drink with them, won't really hang out with them, will always just be on the periphery because the hormones and everything is starting to change, and the females aren't really tolerating his behavior in amongst the herd. It's at that point where an older bull should be coming along and going, come here, young boy, let me guide you in the way of the masculine elephant. Some of the work that I'm aiming towards and trying to get involved in, lots of men's work, and specifically developing a group down in the garden route of men who are looking to do exactly that for younger men. I think it's very, very important in this day and age. There's a lot of single moms out there. A lot of young boys don't have that guidance. They need that. They need something to sort of set them on the way. And elephants and humans, we are very similar in many aspects.
This is On Safari. Now remember, this is live and interactive, so we'd love to hear from you.
To be having these incredible experiences in this wild underwater forest.
It was just one of those things which I don't think I'll ever see again in my life.
Thanks for joining us on our Sunrise Safari.
Stuck in bed, you live in Utah, the USA? Okay. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to get hold of some people who import seeds. Maybe you can do a little Google search. How do I get some South African seeds? I'm sure there's people that are bringing them over to the States. Silver cluster leaf would be a nice tree as well. These are the silver cluster leaves now when they're left to their own devices. They can be really magnificent trees. I think I can take my hood off. Sorry about the noises, everyone. Just a quick little unveiling. Lovely little canopy here on the open areas here towards camp of large silver cluster leaves. Okay, well, we're going to slowly head on back to camp for a Easter Sunday breakfast. Cedric's still with his lions. Let's go see if they're going to catch themselves a buffalo.
Stay, Steve-O's, and we are still here with the lions. Unfortunately, we did see some buffaloes heading a little bit further north, so I think they didn't come down to dams. They rather went up to like a northeastern side of the dam area. So the lions have decided, well, they're not going to continue following. They might do that later tonight. Typical with lions, or even this afternoon. You never know. It depends on how the weather goes. If it's nice and cool still, but you can see. You know, things can change up very quickly. You might get a lonely male, a lone bull coming down here. And, yeah, now as we're sitting, the sun has just disappeared and a huge dark cloud has decided to come above us. And I'm sure we are going to get nice and wet now. You can see on the left-hand side that greyness coming through. Lovely. But yeah, the lions are getting interested here now, eh? You see that, eh? A few heads are up now. 1 or 2 heads are up. But as I say, it just takes that one bull or cow. Yeah, they're coming through just to the north of us, yeah. Anna Marie, yes, it's been delightful. What a sunrise safari on a Sunday morning. As you can see, the buffalo is slowly moving around in the back end. There it is. Oh, they're actually coming down this way now. All right, it's changing towards Twin Dam, so this could be interesting now. Because I think they picked up on the scent. The noses are up, see that? They know that there's lions in the area. The noses are up. There we go. So that's what's happening now. The lions are also up now all of a sudden. Oh, things are changing up here. Dee-dee-dee-oo. They're getting ready. What's going to happen here? What is going to happen here? Are we going to see a last-minute hunt? Watch out, they're still... They're still telling him off. They're still not happy with him. They still don't like him around. Watch the female on the road. She's like, You can see they're all watching these buffaloes as it starts to rain or drizzle quite a bit now. What an ending to our sunrise safari. Pretty much it's ending exactly how it ended off last night. Why does it always happen right at the end? Oop, snarling going down there. The girls, they stick together. They don't move. They stick together. But yeah, thanks so much for the comments and questions this morning, everybody. We do appreciate it quite a bit, and I'm hoping that we can pick up on exactly the story from this morning's Lion Dynamics this afternoon. And yeah, you never know. From the Wild Earth crew, from Gert and myself, have a wonderful morning further. We'll see you this afternoon.